What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I am back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video, but we all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And as requested, a lot of people have been in my DMs on Instagram asking me, Riva, we want some more Shahrazad Ali. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this video. As you can see by the title, I've never seen this video, but as you can see by the title, this is going to get really interesting.
In your book, there is no history of the black man settling down with one woman,
right,
and never desiring to have another. Before slavery, during slavery, or after slavery, the black man has never been recorded to have just one woman.
Right.
First of all, this lady looks like Tyra Banks. If you think that I'm saying the right thing or you agree with that, put that in the comment section down below.
I think there's some actual facts we can look at on that. Monogamy has failed for the white man in America.
But this is like saying it's okay.
It's not me saying it's okay. This is how they're living. I'm giving you the history of what their life is. Black men haven't been waiting on me to tell them it's all right to have more than one woman.
Okay.
Neither have white men. This is just what they do. I'm not talking about fornication and adultery. I'm not talking about one-night stands and running around rampant with other women. That's not the kinds of, when I say more than one woman relationship. Mm-hmm. I mean that before we came to America, our men had more than one wife and family. And we were satisfied with it because we had not met the monogamy idea. We had not met the American white woman who, insists on certain kinds of values in her man. We had not learned envy and jealousy.
This woman's brain is so brilliant, okay? The fact that she is expressing the jealousy, the envy, and the ownership of our man as learned behavior speaks volumes. And I always talk about this, when people talk to me about like religion or like, spirituality, whatever it is, I always say, but like, how was everything before all of the learned behavior? Like, how did people behave before all of the learned behavior that was taught to them, right? And these are one of the aspects that come up a lot in conversations like that, especially when it comes to, monogamous relationships. Because, as I stated before, how people were before is very, very similar to how a lion is with his pack. You see one lion with a pack of lionesses. Maybe there's another lion that's there and with his pack of lionesses as well. But they will go out, they hunt, they take care of, the children. They do all of these things. But when it's go time, that lion is on. He is protecting all of them, right? He's covering all of them and the children. Ultimately, yes, the women can defend themselves. Yes, the women can hunt, but ultimately that lion is protecting them. He's covering them. And likewise to how our men were back then. If you do a lot of research, if you look it up, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, but if you do your own research, everything that she's saying is completely valid and true. And there was no like she said, feeling of ownership of that man. There was no jealousy of that man because that's just how things were. And you understood the purpose of, that man covering you and covering someone else. And it's not that you were like losing it or oblivious or blind or anything like that. You just didn't have an issue with it because that was what was accepted. And that's exactly how the lifestyles of everyone around you was. Now, if you bring it to present times and you see this whole jealousy and ownership of our men is not working for us. It doesn't suit us well, right? This whole fighting over a man, jealousy over a man, trying to have that control and ownership and that dominion ultimately over that man is not working. That's why there's so much conflict. That's why we can watch so much reality TV when it comes to men and relationships and all of these things, because that whole persona of like, oh, you're my man and you this and all that kind of control, it doesn't work. That's why there's still that kind of conflict, and the man is still ultimately going to do whatever he wants to do. But I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. We're going to go ahead and jump right back in.
After coming here, those kinds of ideas were bred into us because of society and the mores that the Americans made up here. And so then we started to have problems with that. But I think that since it is apparent that most of them, not all of them, it's certainly up to the man, do love more than one woman. I got tons of mail. A lot of black men write and tell me that they have had two women for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, and they can't even get the women to speak to each other. Sometimes they have two families.
What I wanted,
two sets of children.
I have the same. Listen, I have the same thing in my DMs. I have the same thing in my comment section of men who have literally said openly that they were in love with more than one woman, and they, talk to me. They tell me their stories in the DM about, one woman being cooperative and everything, and then but they were already with this woman, but they really love this woman, and they miss. So yeah. Hello.
I talk to a woman who's sharing perhaps the bed and the money and the social life with who I would deem as my man.
If you want to deal in reality, and if you are not insecure, and if you don't think that robs you of something, you would want to know them. If he loves her, you certainly should want to know her.
There are a lot of black women out there who say,
I know they're mad about that idea. I understand,
that would never hold water.
Wait a minute, that's not easy. And that's a frightening thought to most of us. And I don't like that. I'm not for that. I'm in agreement with everybody else. Our men ought to just have one woman. But that is not the reality. I'm trying to get us to deal with some reality for a change. Stop dealing with fantasy. Stop dealing with television. Stop dealing with imagination of how we wish things were. Let's deal with them how they are. Yeah. What it is. Present tense.
And it's so important because not every single man is capable of having more than one woman. Not every single man wants more than one woman. But there's men who are designed, literally designed, and are capable of being, a full-on relationship taken care of, emotionally, spiritually invested, connected with more than one woman that can control, a multitude of women, wives, ultimately. And the important thing is to know who you're with in a relationship. That's the number one thing. You can't be with a man who is never, been afraid to tell you that he's capable of taking care of or being in a relationship with more than one woman, who's never denied that that's the person that he was. And then you get with that person and you guys are in a relationship. And in your mind, it's monogamous. I own him. He's my man. He's this. And he never told you that. He never told you that. He never claimed to be that. He never confessed that you're the only person that he wants to ultimately be with. And you're trying to now change him because you're with him. It doesn't work like that. You have to know the person that you're with. That's the number one thing. Regardless of anything, regardless of if they're with more than one woman, regardless of, the things that they like, you have to spend that time to know and be invested in what makes your man tick. What are the things that he likes? What is he actually saying to me? Not what is he saying to me, and then I'm filtering it through my brain and I'm hearing something else. No, what is he actually saying to you? Because men are pretty straightforward when they talk about the things that they want, look for, or the things that they require in their relationships.
And but because that's happening doesn't mean I have to like that or want to accept that.
No, that means that you can live in hell. That means you can live in doubt. That means that you can always be checking on your man. That means that you can be insecure and be, tearful. And that means you can be disappointed when you find out the real truth. And you don't want to have that in your life. None of us do. But in order not to have that, then we have to deal with some reality and recognize that men are not limited in the way that women are. Men are able to love more than one woman. I'm not talking about, as I said, just a random sexual relationship of fornication and adultery and all of that. I mean that there are many black men who have children by more than one woman. What is to become of those children? They need their father.
But if he would cheat on me or walk out on me...
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating? Where did that idea come from that that's cheating? And I'm not saying that a lot of men are not just running around. I'm not talking about that. But if a woman finds out that her man has been with a woman while she's been with him for 3 or 4 or 5 years, that's a serious commitment and relationship. And if it hasn't taken anything from me, if I'm not going short of anything, and if this is what he thinks his responsibility is, then what kind of hell are you going to go through to prevent that? Since we cannot stop him, we have not been successful. The white woman has not been successful in stopping the white man from having another woman. No. They called them a mistress. We pick up a lot of that terminology. But a man who has 2 women, that's not necessarily a mistress. That's just his other woman. Now, we got 2 choices. We can be the woman or the other woman.
Yeah, because we've taken that mistress title and you know, the side chick, this and that. Sometimes a man has 2 main chicks or 3. You feel that you're at the top because maybe you live with him or you see him majority of the time, but in actuality, maybe that person on that he has a relationship with doesn't know about you, or maybe she does know about you, and he can openly speak to her on things that you have no idea of, and you're in the same exact home as that person. So ultimately, whose rank is higher? You know what I'm saying? And again, in saying whose rank is higher, it's important to know, you know, women have been, you know, taught about being super competitive, especially when it comes to relationships. And I get it, right? They want to make sure that they're the first, they're the one that's, you know, the most, the favorite, the best, the this, the that. And I get that because we're so emotional and we crave that, you know. However, sometimes it's really not about that. Sometimes it's just about you being 2 completely different people who are offering 2 completely different things. And that man, at different points of his life or whatever the situation was, ended up with 2 situations or 3 or however. And it just happened that way. And he feels connected to this person as much as he feels connected to this person. And it doesn't mean, okay, realizing that this is a reality does not mean that it has to be something that you want within your life, within your relationship. Think maybe it's something that you do not want to stand for, but let's not act like it's something that's not possible or it's something that's not happening, because as she just said, there are relationships where a man has literally fathered children outside of the relationship, has a whole other committed family outside of the relationship. The woman finds out way after the fact and is shocked, obviously, because she never knew, she didn't feel any difference. So she doesn't feel any difference. Then she shuts off completely from that man because she doesn't want to be in that kind of relationship, which is her prerogative. But then in actuality, she spends her time thinking about it, missing him, dwelling on that, trying to get a man that's exactly like him, that can do everything that he, you know, supplied for her. And it's like, ultimately, she's miserable. And some of those women, if they wish to tell the truth, think about like, why didn't I just leave it alone? Why didn't I just stay? What was the point of me moving past that? They're good points.
We don't have it, those 2. Now, I know we don't like that. I don't like that. You know, but that's the reality of our life at some point. Now, it's up to the man. But every man doesn't want 2 women, but those that do, they're going to do it.
What about our morals and our religion?
Whose religion? Whose morals? Mm-hmm. Not our religion, because we're not practicing the religion of black people anymore. That was taken from us. We don't have our morals anymore. That was taken from us. So whose idea are you representing when you stand up for those values?
Say that.
Not ours.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody else's. Some other nationality. And it may work for them. But it doesn't work for us.
I love this woman. I just love this woman. I love her so much. I know that you guys are going to be going off in the comment section. I'm going to be down there I'm talking to you guys, as you already know. So just let me know your honest thoughts on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. There's a lot of esteem, and I use that word very carefully because that's the, you know, and my intent on using that word is for a reason. But the esteem of our men has been taken out of our relationships, and it needs to be put back in there because there would be a lot more cohesive nature. A woman esteeming her man, her king, treating him as such would make her in turn be treating a certain way that would make her a lot happier. There would be a lot less stress, fighting, all of these things. Everybody will be a lot happier and get the things that they want. But anyways, make sure that like I said before, that you guys leave a comment. I'll be in the comment section with you guys. I love you guys so very much, and I will see you guys in the next video.